Hey guys, VideoJames, and today we're going to be looking at how to use Torkoal. Torkoal is actually a Pokemon that I've tried to use before unsuccessfully, and he does have a lot of competitive use, especially now that he got the Drought ability from Sun and Moon, that he's gotten a buff with that ability, and it's actually given him more power than he's had before. So, looking at Torkoal, we've got that pure fire typing, not really much to be desired in the way of weakness when it comes to fire types, that we've only really got the weakness to water, rock, and ground, meaning we'll only ever get hit by those super effective. And we do get resistances as things we are seeing a lot in the current meta now. That we're seeing a lot of fires resist that. And we're getting resistances to grass, ice, and bug. And we're getting resistances to fairy and steel. So a lot of that stuff that's in the current meta is just getting cut out by Torkoal. And then we see its abilities. We've got White Smoke, which means opponents can't lower your stats. Which, I mean, opponents don't really use stat-lowering moves anymore anyway, except for Sticky Web. And I don't think that really counts. And we've also got Drought, which gives it... it lets it bring out basically Sunny Day when it switches into battle. And as of X and Y, this actually started lasting 5 turns instead of the 3 it used to. And it also has the hidden ability of Shell Armor, which is actually one of my favorite abilities because it prevents critical hits. And we all know that crits actually do really matter in Pokemon, and they can actually lead to either your success or your downfall. And then we see Torkoal's stats, that we've got 470 as a base total, that we've got 70 in the HP, 85 in both attacks, 140 in the defense, making this thing an insurmountable tank in defense, 70 special defense, which is, yeah, alright. And then we got 20 defense. So this thing is basically like a Ferrothorn, almost. Except that it's a fire type, and it's better, and it has more attacks. So we see Ferrothorn is kind of balanced. That we can be a tanker and an attacker at the same time. Which is basically Ferrothorn's set. That he's a tank and an attacker at the same time. And we'll see that when we look at the sets. Because the first set is actually a Assault Vest Shell Armor set. So we see we got Assault Vest to give him that extra special defense, and Shell Armor to prevent critical hits. And then we've got maxed out special defense, for the special defense to be as high as possible, with a careful nature. Or no, it's a calm nature, not a careful nature. With a calm nature. And then we've got maxed out HP, and the rest of the EVs are thrown into the defense, because we kind of want this Torkoal to be very tanky. And then we see with the Assault Vest, we're reaching about 390. And then we've got Eruption just because it has massive power at max HP. This thing has a base 150 at base with full HP. And then we've got Earth Power for our special ground type move, covering those electric types. We've got Clear Smog, which is really good because it counters fairies and grass. And it does get rid of all the opponent's stat changes, which is honestly why it's one of my favorite moves currently. And then we've got Solar Beam, that with Drought, or another Pokemon setting up Sunny Day, that we can use Solar Beam to our advantage. And he doesn't really have much in the way of good moves when it comes to special, that he's really only got those 3. But you could replace Solar Beam for something like Heat Wave or Flamethrower if you just want to have that extra fire damage. That Eruption, while it's at 150 base power and getting that stab from the fire, that he could still run Heat Wave and be just as effective. And Eruption does actually lose power the less HP you have. So I would actually recommend running Heat Wave. So instead of Solar Beam, run Heat Wave. Cross that out. And then we see the second Torkoal is actually a Charcoal Hidden Power Ice set. Now, I didn't really accept this set at first because I don't really use Hidden Power as much. Hidden Power is not really something I'm a big fan of. But I found out that it does actually work with Torkoal because we can use Hidden Power to our advantage and just put 0 IVs in the attack and speed, and we'll be able to get exactly what we need for the Hidden Power Ice. And we see we've got Eruption again with the Charcoal, just giving us that massive amount of power and damage. Heat Wave, again, that fire move just for coverage. Hidden Power Ice for that damage against our weaknesses, and then just Protect just there to give us a free turn. And then we see we've got maxed out HP and maxed out special attack with the Bold Nature. Now, we're not really investing in our defenses as much this time, because this is mainly just to be a tanky sweeper set, instead of a tanky staller set. So, we see that this Torkoal is mainly just, it's setting up its own power with the Charcoal and the Drought, that with Drought we're already giving our fire type moves a bonus power, and then Charcoal just doubling up onto that, and then just having moves like Heat Wave and Eruption, just make Torkoal absolutely beastly when it comes to attacking. And then we see the next set is a Yawn Stealth Rock set, which actually works out very well. So we see we got the Heat Rock with Drought, to kind of make our Drought last a lot longer. And then we've got Stealth Rock, just to put a little hazard on the field. Yawn to kind of put our opponents to sleep. You can run Toxic. Toxic is also a possibility, but I like Yawn better because it kind of forces a switch in. That either your opponent stays in and they get hit while they're sleeping, or they swap out into something that's not asleep and they risk the chance of that getting put to sleep as well, which is why Yawn almost always is a good move. And then we see we've got Lava Plume just for that damage with the Drought and the Stab, and then the Clear Smog just for that extra special move, plus the chance to reset all stats. And then we see maxed out special attack and HP with the Bold Nature again. That with this set, we're not really going to want any special attack lowering, and we won't really need as much special defense boosting, so we want to kind of balance our defenses. And this set also works well with Pokemon like Leafeon that have Chlorophyll. That with Leafeon, it gets it gets the speed doubled in the sunlight, and it actually manages to go faster. So if we send in Torkoal and we get that Stealth Rock, then we're wearing stuff down and giving them a little bit of damage, and then Leafeon could just come in and just wipe out everything. That with them having that small bit of damage already on them, Leafeon could just get one Swords Dance set up and then just be like, okay, Chlorophyll outspeed all you boys, and then just wreck house. And that's why Leafeon and Torkoal are actually a really good combo. That anything with Chlorophyll, like Venusaur even, would work extremely well with Torkoal, because you could also run Venusaur as a tank as coverage for Torkoal. That you could run a max defense Torkoal with a Bold Nature, and then you could set up the Drought and switch into Venusaur with max special defense investment. And then we see the final Torkoal set is actually one that I've used before, modified. That we've got a Rest Sleep Talk set, since Nasty Plot's kinda gone now. Nasty Plot kinda can't really be used on Torkoal anymore. I remember seeing there was one battle I've seen that Torkoal was able to use Nasty Plot, so I know it's been done. But we see we got Rest and Sleep Talk, just to kind of get that health recovery and to have that coverage for when we're asleep. Then we got Leftovers and the Shell Armor, just to prevent critical hits and to give us health back little by little. And then again, we've got Flamethrower and Clear Smog, just because Flamethrower and Clear Smog work extremely well. You want this to have maxed out HP and special defense with the Bold Nature. That, again, you're kind of splitting up your defenses and kind of balancing them out. So this is basically just another tanky set. Basically like the Stealth Rocks, only this one is meant to have more of a sustain set. And that's basically it for how to use Torkoal. He did used to have a lot more coverage when he had Nasty Plot. That there used to be a lot more ways you could use him. And he does have access to Iron Defense and Amnesia. But unfortunately, really the only ones that ever work out are Amnesia with maxed out special defense, and that kind of hinders you. But anyway, that's going to be it for this how to use Torkoal video. If you guys have any Pokemon you want to see me do videos on, as always, let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, you can slap the like button as always, and I will see you guys later.